हाँ जी, मैंने उनको अनम्यूट कर दिया। आचार्य जी, आप हैं?
हाँ जी, नमस्ते।
जी नमस्ते।
Namaste, everybody. This is our second online.
नमस्ते। नमस्ते।
You can see even while at home. That is the beauty of this technology and our huge technical team, and Ankit ji is facilitating the session. So just now we did the assembly prayer, the Gayatri Mantra, and its small poetic translation. Ankit ji has told me that we should discuss 10 principles of Arya Samaj, which is very interesting, very important. And that is basically the purpose of Sanskriti school, for you to learn something beyond what is being taught in your regular schools. So let's look at the first principle. They were originally written by Maharishi Dayanand. I want to do a screen share. So host has disabled my part. I am sure Ankit ji will give me.
हाँ जी आचार्य जी, एक मिनट।
Will give me the authority so that I can.
Please try now, Acharya ji.
Yeah. I can do the screen share now. And I just got it out a few minutes ago. The English version of the 10 principles of Arya Samaj. As you know, our founder is, you know all that, Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati. So he wrote just on one sheet of paper 10 principles of Arya Samaj. And it is so fantastic. This one single sheet of paper can guide the whole humanity. You know, that is the beauty of these 10 principles. So first 5 principles are more like they apply to us as an individual for my overall development. And then the next 5, from 6th to 10th, they apply to the organization. When we all individuals gather together, then we say, let's do something. Let's open a Sanskriti school for our good children, and let us organize the setup in such manner. So those parts are covered in the later 5. So first 5 is for our own personal development. And as you know, as a child, you will appreciate it. The first thing you see in your world is your mother and father, isn't it? And you have such a wonderful, close relationship with them. You know it. They are there to take care of you in all circumstances, is it not? So now when we come when we are getting slight maturity, we are trying to get to see that our tiny home is not our home, entire earth is our home, isn't it? The whole world is our home. We can walk anywhere and enjoy the beauty of this world. And then we say, who is the mother and father at that large scale? Who is the mother and father of the large home, the large family, the whole humanity, all the species, animals, birds, all are the children of some supreme mother and father, and that we call as Ishwar. And in English we call it as God. No harm in that, you know. Usually say, I want a glass of water. So in Hindi I say, मुझे एक गिलास पानी दीजिए, ठीक है ना? And many of you will understand. If I come to your home and I say, एक गिलास पानी दीजिए, you will give me एक गिलास पानी आप दे दोगे मुझे, है ना? And if I say the same thing in English, please give me a glass of water, then also you will give me the same glass of water, is it not? So whether I say in Hindi pani or in English water, it means the same thing. So different languages say the same thing for the same stuff, is it not? Namely water in this case. But unfortunately, Ishwar, in English we call it God, but if I tell somebody, God is like this and this, he may have some other ideas about God, is it not? Somebody may have different idea about God. Somebody has an idea about God that he is born with only a mother without a father. Somebody has an idea about God that somebody sends some kind of prophets into the world, and then then a lot of prophets come and then he stops sending prophets. These are some very unusual ideas about God. So we have to be careful. We have certain ideas about Ishwar, but when we translate it into God, somebody else may have some other funny ideas about God. So we have to be careful about that. But we will use the term God, but you should have this in mind. The correct term in Sanskrit for God is Ishwar. And as I said, originally Maharishi Dayanand wrote these principles in Hindi, and his Hindi words are authentic, but I am using the English translation so that we can get our discussion going, is it not? So the very first principle, as you can see here, principle one, God is, namely Ishwar. He has used the term here Parameshwar. Parameshwar and Ishwar are the same thing, same thing, but two different terms, which is we will explain it slightly later. But let's look at it. So, Ishwar we are translating as God for the time being. And what is this first principle says? It's a original Hindi word is, which I am reading out from a book here. The Hindi first principle is Sab Satya Vidya. और जो पदार्थ विद्या से जाने जाते हैं उन सब का आदि मूल परमेश्वर है. Number of our children remember it, a couple of years ago, all the Sanskriti school children were reciting these 10 principles in Hindi. So I am sure many of you remember that. Now what I read out, the English translation is, as you can see on the screen, God is the original source of all that is true knowledge and all that is known by physical sciences or by that knowledge. So this is a bit short statement, very short statement, short, small sentence, but it has a lot of deep meaning. And I am sure, I must admit to you, when I was a child, until about 15, 18 years, I did not quite understand the depth of this first principle. It took me many years, and I will try to be, because somehow I did not get correct explanation in my younger age, but I hope I am able to convey this meaning that some of you or most of you will understand it. So let's look at it. Like in front of me, there is a wooden desk. I am making a sound also. You are convinced I am sitting near a desk on a chair. So this is a wooden desk, is it not? So I always like to say, when I see this desk, what does it mean? Somebody made it, is it not? He was an intelligent human being whom we call a carpenter, is it not? So I didn't see that particular carpenter who made this desk, but I see this desk. But seeing this desk, I can say with great confidence, yes, there is a carpenter who made this desk, is it not? So the desk means there is a carpenter. If you see an art, you are confident there is an artist behind that, is it not? And so is true with this desk. Now that carpenter, before he can make this desk, he has to have the knowledge about this. So in his mind, he has a blueprint, he has a design that this is what my desk should look like. And then he takes the pieces of wood, he cuts them and joins them together, and he makes a desk, is it not? So first comes the knowledge. he has to have the knowledge, is it not? And then he has to be able to make it. So this is what we say about the whole world, the entire earth, with all these rivers, mountains, plants and trees, air and water, everything on the earth, then the moon, the sun, the solar system. We say that just like on the seeing of desk, I think of a carpenter and I know he has the knowledge to make it. So am I thinking. This is I am thinking. I am not seeing that. I have seen all kinds of carpenters, but I have never seen God, is it not? So let me think at this point, is it not? So we say that we human beings could not have made all this infinitely large universe. So there is somebody who made it, who is, we give it a name, Ishwar, or God in English, is it not? And then we say he must be intelligent, like Carpenter was an intelligent human being with the knowledge in his mind to make the desk. This laptop I am using, there must be some great engineer who has the knowledge about how this laptop functions. He has the design in his mind, and then he makes this wonderful thing. We are using laptop, computers, phone systems, and whatnot. So is true with all this entire world, and I don't have to go too far, is it not? Do you know what is the closest thing that shows you the beautiful design of the God? What is that closest thing? Your own body system, is it not? Your own eyes, your own face. When you see first thing in the morning, your face. Who made your body? Is it not? All this is made by somebody whom we don't know, but we give him a name, Ishwar, God, is it not? So that God made so many things, including me, including my mother, my father, including the world, the soil, the plants, trees, air, water, all that gives me the life support, and we choose to call him as Ishwar, God, is it not? And then we say, all that knowledge that is required to make all this thing is also, he has that knowledge, is it not? Today, a scientist will try to find out the whole intricacies of wood. We will call it as wood science, is it not? Science of wood, science of soil, science of air, science of cloud, science of molecules, science of atoms. These are all great scientists. They explore, try to find the knowledge hidden in all these things, is it not? They don't make knowledge, they discover knowledge. What is the word discover? Discover. As if there is a cover on the knowledge, they try to remove that cover, is it not? They don't invent knowledge. Who invented the knowledge? The knowledge very first time, that is what this sentence is saying. God is the original source of all that is true knowledge. All that we are learning in schools, colleges, universities, through the books and periodicals, through the libraries, through the internet, all that is the knowledge we gain sometimes is true knowledge, sometimes we pick up a wrong knowledge also, like about this coronavirus. Our government, our president, our top scientists are giving us the true knowledge, how to safeguard from this coronavirus. But on our phone, we will have all kinds of WhatsApp forwards and all kinds of messages. A lot of that is wrong knowledge. People are just forwarding, is it not? It has not been substantiated, but people just forward, sometimes with bad intention, sometimes they have good intention, but they don't realize they are forwarding wrong knowledge, is it not? So we have to be careful about that. So here the statement is, wrong knowledge is not coming from Ishwar. Ishwar is only the true knowledge, that is what sustains the world, is it not? And that true knowledge, a good scientist should always try to explore, find out. So, we always try to say Sanskrit school is for science. But it is not that just the science what you learn in schools and colleges. Science means try to get to the cause of an effect. Like in terms of this desk, I come back to this wooden desk. Wooden desk is called as an effect. It has come out of something. It has come out of wood. So wood is the cause and desk is the effect. What does a scientist do? Scientist is seeing an effect and is trying to find what could be the cause of it. So when you see a desk and when you say there has to be a carpenter who has made the desk out of wood, that is a scientifically substantiated correct statement, is it not? So if you have established a correct relationship between cause and effect, that is true. If somebody says this is a child, there has to be a mother and father of the child. That is a scientific statement. But if you say there is a child without a father or without a mother, that is not a scientific statement, is it not? So we have to be careful that science means a correct relationship between cause and effect. Say, if it is raining, I can see the rain from my window, but I can always say, because I am confident, there must be some clouds in the sky. I cannot see the clouds from the window, but this is scientifically known. Without clouds, there cannot be rain. How can the water drop from the sky unless there are rain making clouds? Is it not? And they get condensed because the temperatures are low upstairs, up in the sky. So our scientists have studied the whole cloud physics, how the water vapor goes up, how it condenses, and then how the droplets fall down due to the gravity. They have studied all this. But who does all this? Who has made this knowledge? We didn't make the knowledge. We have just explored and understood it. But this beautiful art of the world that sustains the world so that we get filtered water. So this is where Sanskrit school is one step beyond your regular school. Your regular school will say that yes, there is a whole physics of water and water vapor and its condensation, that water vaporizes from the oceans and lakes, goes up because water vapor is very, light. H2O has molecular weight of only 18, whereas molecular weight of oxygen is 32 and that of nitrogen is 28. So H2O molecule is 18, it is lighter. Lighter, a gas will always go up, is it not? Everybody knows it. Heavier things come down, lighter things go up. So water vapor will go up and up. If it goes beyond certain distance, temperatures are very low. When we go up in the airplane, the temperatures are like minus 40 degrees Celsius, minus 50 degree Fahrenheit. It is such a cold air upstairs. So at that cold temperature, that same water vapor will condense. It becomes droplets. And then when it is droplet, it has condensed. It has to fall down because now it is heavy. It cannot sustain that. So it becomes like rain. This is what your school, college, and scientists will tell you. But what does Sanskrit school tell you? That yes, beyond this, there is another cause. Cause and effect don't end up with this scientific. This is not the whole complete picture. This is a true picture, but to this picture, there is another entity, Ishwar, who has made such a formulation, who has made all these laws so that we can get filtered clean water for drinking purpose, is it not? Otherwise, all water is polluted. How do we get clean filtered water? So Sanskrit school teaches you to go from science to physical science to spiritual science. And then not only that, just like You get food on your dining table and you know it came from your mother, then what do? You hug your mother, you kiss your mother, you express your love and gratitude to her, is it not? You have a very bonding with that mother and father because your father works around, earns some money, buys the grocery, your mother cooks food, gives you when you are hungry. That is so important for you. So you love your mother and father because they take care of you, they give you the right thing at the right time. In the same manner, when you learn in the Sanskrit school that beyond this cloud physics, beyond the science of the rain, there is an entity called Ishwar who has formulated all these laws so that things must happen like this, so that when humanity is scarcity of water, the rain will bring clean filtered water. So we say beyond this cloud physics, there is a science of Ishwar also. There is a science of God also who completes the picture, and we will not even stop there. We want to have a loving bond relationship with that Ishwar. We want to be with him every day, at least twice or so, 5 minutes or so. I want to thank him from my heart that this is your wonderful design. So much so now I realize even this body came from him. Our doctors, our medical scientists may know a lot about this body, but then we have to be grateful that such a wonderful system, namely our body and mind, are also gift from Ishwar, is it not? So we should be very, very thankful for that Ishwar, and that is what this first principle of Arya Samaj is saying in one short sentence, that all that is true knowledge, Sab Satya Vidya, that is originating from Ishwar. This has another way to say it, like you are learning from your teachers, from your parents. You ask them, whom did they learn from? They will say, we learned from our parents, our teacher. You ask your grandparents, where did the things they learn, they get their knowledge from? They will say, we learned from our teachers. Then, of course, the common sense is there. Where does this chain end? The first human being, where did you learn it from? Where did you get the knowledge from? He has to say, I got it from my teacher, and my teacher was Ishwar. That is my mother and father. And not only that, even today, if I connect to that Ishwar, he gives me good knowledge. That is the essence of Dhyo Yona Prachodayat, is it not? May you guide my buddhi. May you guide my intellect. So sometimes you see, you hear in your conscience, is it not? Sometimes you are tempted to speak a lie, but Ishwar within you tells you, don't speak a lie. Is it not? He is warning you, is it not? So that same teacher, that Ishwar, not only he is the source of knowledge, he can give you the knowledge provided you listen to him, is it not? So that is all that is meant by this simple sentence. God is the original source of all that is true knowledge and all that is known by that true knowledge, all the things that, like behind this desk, there is a carpenter, behind this wonderful world, there is that Ishwar. So he is the maker of the whole world, including me, my body, including my mother's, father's body, and including he is also the source of the knowledge by which he has made this whole world, is it not? So the knowledge is to know a thing as it functions, and he has made the way water functions, he has made the way the earth moves around the sun. So he has made how things behave the way they behave, and knowing the behavior of everything is the knowledge about that everything, is it not? So that is what is the message of the first principle of Arya Samaj. We think, we look at this world, but behind this world, there is a maker of this world, and that maker of the world has the knowledge about the whole world. Thank you all for your attention. It was a difficult statement. In my younger age, I struggled a lot to understand the first principle of Arya Samaj. I hope I have tried to convey this meaning in simple terms, and some of you have understood. And I guess next few minutes are to be devoted to question answer. I think Ankit ji will guide me. Where are the questions? I have to see them.